Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Football Vloggers podcast with me, Lee Charles TV, and I've got 5 guests in with us. If you're new to the channel, just to let you know what we do, we go around each other's clubs, just have a little chat about how our club has gone on in the past week. Also, we look forward to the football that our teams are going to be playing in the week coming ahead, and also tonight it is a transfer deadline day special, so we will be covering that as well. I'll just introduce the guest to you. We've got to my left on the screen, I think you see it, Daniel, who is 18 Dapper. He is a Doncaster Rovers fan and they are flying at the moment. Good evening, Daniel.
Good evening, Lee. You right?
I'm fine, thank you. Hope you're fine too. Your team are doing well. We'll chat about them in a minute. Next to him, we've got Ben, who is Cod's Vlogs. He's a Fleetwood Town fan, and he's not quite as happy and smiley as Daniel is at the moment, but he's got a new manager, new hope, new everything at Fleetwood. Good evening, Good evening, Ben.
I wouldn't say new hope, but good evening, Lee.
Below here, I've got Jake, who is Punk Chef 41. He's a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Good evening, Jake. Are you happy, smiley today? Sheffield on the comeback?
Today, at the moment, it's transfer day, but in Sheffield, it's just called Monday. We can look in the window.
Brilliant, love it. It's Monday in Sheffield. Next to him, we've got Dor, Mr. Dor from Dor on Tour, Nottingham Forest fan. Good evening, Dor.
Wagwan. What's going on?
We'll talk to you a bit about your club, but you should be a bit. No, you're not happy.
I'm not. No.
Who's more happy, you or Cos Vlogs at the moment? Are you smiling at the moment? You signed something today?
Cos Vlogs is smiling a little bit more than me. So.
Oh God! All right.
I don't think so. There were 5 goals in 12 games, mate, and 9 points from a possible 12. You've just been on a 7-game unbeaten run.
Yeah.
We've won 1 in 12.
Cogs, no. Cogs, have you seen our last 4 games, Forest? Please.
Have you seen our last 12,
Right. Before we get into it, we'll just introduce Tyler, who's next to door. Good evening, Tyler. Tyler Rowlinson. He's a Charlton Athletic fan. It's been a bit up and down, but I think you had a decent result on the weekend, Tyler. So we'll talk about that soon as well. So
we did indeed. Thank
maybe
God.
Feeling a little bit happier than you were last week. Right. We'll start off with 18 Dapper, who's Doncaster Rovers fan, who said that there's no way. I think you might have even used a swear word when you asked the question for £1 million. Would you go and support your local rival team for 2 years? I think you told them where to shove it, didn't you? And you would not go to Rotherham, but I can understand it having to go and watch Rotherham because Rotherham is the worst.
Horrid, mate. Absolute horrid.
The worst.
You do not want to go to Rotherham.
It's so bad.
You want to drive through it and get to Sheffield?
No, it's an odd one. We were saying just before we came on live that £1 million is life changing, but I think football is for fans is much more than that, and especially the way that the Rovers are at the minute, I feel like we're missing out on a very positive time in our recent history. And it's a family club. I don't think I'd get my dad, brother, or nephew across to Rotherham as well.
I don't think it's very hard to get anybody to go to Rotherham. It's a miserable place, isn't it? But so tell us all about Doncaster Rovers, because they're a dark horse, aren't they?
Yeah, it's been a strange January, losing Ben Whiteman a couple of weeks ago on the vlog, on the podcast, and said that it was a massive loss, which it is. I still believe that it is a big loss. It was one of the best midfielders in League One. But in terms of recruiting, I think we've done a fantastic job bringing Bostock in, Robertson on loan from Celtic. We brought Josh Sims back from Southampton, which was a surprise because he's out of contract at the end of the season. So I think if we get promoted to the Championship, that could potentially be a permanent thing.
When are these coming in January, Daniel? These
are all at the club now, just not quite match fit. So they didn't feature against Lincoln. We've got Omar Bogle up front. I'm a bit,
Thank you. Thank the Lord you took him from us.
I'm reserving judgment. I'm reserving judgment because I look back at Marquis, how he played at Millwall. It wasn't scoring Marquis at Millwall. It came to Donny, and it was a different player. So I think you've got to reserve judgment and give him an opportunity and not write him off before they've even gone onto the pitch. Right. But a lot of Charlton fans were.
So how was the
Very,
game against Lincoln? Because you were playing top of the league, weren't you? So it was a tough game. Was it away at Lincoln? You were away at Lincoln or home?
Yeah, at Lincoln. It was one of the tougher games that we've had over the last couple of weeks. I had us down as a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
We got an early goal. Taylor Richards, 15 minutes in. Fantastic run. Didn't get closed down, and he just slotted it into the bottom corner from just outside the box. And then it was all hands on deck defensively. Out the bus.
Oh, really?
70% to 30% possession. But if a team's going to do well in the league, they've got to win ugly, and we did that. 2 penalties.
They're a good side, aren't they, Lincoln? They played us, and I thought they were one of the best teams.
I'd be surprised if they're not up there come the end of the season. They look very, very good.
They don't seem to be falling apart either, do they? They seem to be keeping going.
They just couldn't score on the day. I think we limited them to long-range shots. There was the 2 penalties that Balcom saved. Great.
He saved 2 penalties? I didn't even know that.
He gave one of them away as well.
Quality.
And Lincoln hit the crossbar as well. So on another day, it could have been 3-1, but luckily for us, we got the win. Right. 2 or 3 games in hand over teams around us, 3 points off at the top. So, positive.
So you could theoretically go top of the league if you win your games in hand.
Yeah.
Who are your games in hand against?
One is against Shrewsbury.
They're not much.
The other 2 have escaped.
You lost to them, by the way, Lee. Just before you say not much.
No, I'm not saying that. I didn't think they were. I know we lost to them, but I didn't think.
Come back to me on that one. I'll let you know.
Lucky on the day. I don't think they're a top side. I know they beat us, but sometimes you lose games. And
anyone can beat anyone.
They can absolutely. Well, it sounds very exciting for you, Daniel. I've got to admit, Doncaster Rovers. It's looking very good. Right, next to you though, on the opposite side of the coin, we've got the happy, smiling Ben. Tell us all about what is going on at Fleetwood, Ben, because it's just. I know you've been in a sort of a meltdown on your videos over the past few days. I've watched a couple of them. You were not happy at all at the first one, but you seem to have kind of come round a bit, have you?
I think he's quite mellow considering who they've hired.
Let's hear it from Nappers.
I'm going to discuss last week. I said, we needed 4 points from the 6 games if we were to be within a chance of mid-table of a decent finish. We got 2 against Wigan and Northampton, which is an absolute disgrace. In both games we should have lost both games. We were poor, we didn't lay a glove on them. Last 10-15 minutes it was us holding on. And then Oxford, again, I keep going into these streams, keep going into these games thinking today's the day we're going to turn it around, and sending off after 5 or 6 minutes. Mulgrew's lost his legs, just takes him out. What an absolute idiot. Honestly, him defending, it's like their defence is top. Our defence, dumb and dumber. That is what he's like. Conley's good, but him, don't get me started. And then they scored. Then after that, it was always going to be an uphill battle. And then obviously with Barry rejecting saying at Chelsea, there's always going to be who's available, who's applied, who's cheap, who can keep us up, and that was Grayson. Am I happy about it? No. Do I think we'll play good football? No. Will it be long ball? Yes. But we've got to win a relegation battle. And I got called very negative when I said this 4 weeks ago on this show. I got called, get a grip, you're not in a relegation battle. Last 12 games, we've got 9 points. We scored 5 goals in the last 12 games. We only conceded 9. We scored 5 goals in the last 12 games. How is that a side that aren't in a relegation battle? I think they're the worst. We're the worst form in the league, and that needs to change. Grayson started well at a couple of clubs he's been at. He's got this reputation where he gets teams out of League One. He's not done it for about 7 years. He's had an awful spell at Sunderland, but everyone who goes to Sunderland has had an awful spell. I don't think they've had a good manager since Big Sam, if I'm honest with you. So you can't, Bradford didn't really get a chance, and Blackpool 2.0, average. Started well, ended well. I don't think it'll be 5-4-1 with the way that our team sets up, because I don't think we've even got 5 defenders, put it that way. So it's going to be interesting, but 21 games to go, 23 points, get safe, rebuilding the side. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's an experienced manager. Let's put it that way. he knows his way around football. It just went, I think I said in your, in the stream I came on, it just went sour at Blackpool, and we don't really know why, because up till Christmas he was really looking like, we would have gone top of the league again at Christmas, and we played Accrington, and a bit of dodgy refereeing, I must admit, in a couple of those games, which I wasn't happy about when I came out of the games. We should have got something out of it. We should have got something when we went to Tranmere Rovers, to be fair, but we played on like a mud bath of a pitch. It was terrible. I mean, same for both sides, but it was very hard to play football in. And I don't know, just from Christmas, it all just fell apart. And I was very happy to see him go. I was happy to see Grayson go, honestly. And Jane was relieved, because she was obviously, you've seen the videos where she was crying and stuff at the end of the game. Not all because of the way they were playing. I mean, obviously the losing didn't help, but it was the hostility towards Grayson. And I did say to you in the stream before that he won't have all that at Fleetwood, because, he wouldn't have it anywhere he goes. He's not going to have any fans, shouting at him and making it hostile, because that's not there. So that's a good thing. And maybe he just need to get back in the saddle. You know what I mean? He had a bad, he's had some bad experience, and
my point of view is basically, I'm not going to call for a manager out yet, or even after a few games, because if I remember rightly, you, Mr. Charles, in October, late October, early November, asked for certain Mr. Critchley out after Wimbledon. You're saying he's got to go.
Yeah, you did.
And then, and now look how he's turned it around. And I said to you on this show, he'll turn it around. I think you've got to give Grayson that chance. He's got 21 games. He's only here till the end of the year. Then, I'm sure that he won't be here next year. Put it that way. It's what Sheridan came in 3 years ago, kept us up. There's £250,000. You've kept us up. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And then we moved on to Barton. I reckon someone the Blackpool fans may know and like will be our new manager come August.
Who?
Charlie Adam.
Charlie Adam.
Wow. He wants to get into management. And Kelly and Charlie Adam are very good mates. He does a lot of his pre-season training over it. He's always in Fleetwood, the training facility. He's always talking to Andy. It'll be either one of Tim Cahill or Charlie Adam.
Would you have your mate, somebody who's one of your best mates as manager?
Everyone said Barton and Joey were mates. They weren't mates.
It could fall out. You could all fall out with all your mates, couldn't you? If you're, in that situation, I don't know. Anyway, it would be. Oh God, no! Don't. I hope not. He's a legend in Blackpool. Why
would it matter if he went to Blackpool though, Lee? We're not your rivals, so we're just another League One team.
It's not good though. It's not great.
It's only like him going to Oxford or Accrington, because we're not your rivals. So I don't see the point of him. Why he'd be bothered? We're just a transfer, remember?
Don't want to go down.
You guys class each other as rivals to a certain extent.
Do better than
we're not your rivals.
Poxy little Fleetwood.
Don't start on this now. Don't start on this again, for fuck's sake.
Moving on. Swiftly moving on.
Come
on. Moving down to upper level actually, but down on the screen to Jake, who's Punk Chef 41, Sheffield Wednesday. And things are looking a little bit better for Sheffield Wednesday than they were a few weeks ago, aren't they?
It's looking a little bit better, but don't say up at another level, because at the minute we're nowhere near that safe. We are fifth in the form table, so we have picked up a lot of good wins, and I think it was after back-to-back wins, 4 back-to-back wins.
Sorry, Jay. I've just got to interrupt you because that comments made me. Thank you. Get oyster this chairman. That would be tremendous. Right, anyway, sorry, carry on, Jake.
Need to be nowhere near another club in the forever.
Yeah, but
no comment.
We still haven't got a manager. We're still doing our caretaker thing, and that last week was a complete and utter cluster for the club, because we had we lost the Coventry, and then we had an advisor turn around and said that he's no longer with the club, he's leaving, he's left, and then the chairman come out and said he was never an advisor, but 2 months later in like November, he said he was an advisor to the club. So which is it? Is he an advisor or not? Kind of thing. So it just screams of us just being really badly managed up high with chairmans. And then he came out and called Paul Cook unprofessional. It's like, I don't see it. You're making a rod for your own back at the minute. The only decent thing we've got at the minute is that the players are now starting to respond to our caretaker manager. It might be a good idea to let him have it till the end of the season. There was talk about Chris Coleman coming in.
No, never.
And
Rubbish.
to be fair, for what we would need, he may do a good job. But the thing is, people always judge him on that Sunderland career now. They don't judge him on what he's done, but he did go to China. And you go to China for the money. You're not going there for the football. You're going for the big payday. And the situation we've got is everybody around us is signing players on this last day. We signed Andre Green and Sam Hutchinson. We need a left back, we need a striker, and we need a winger striker. If we don't get any of them, we're going to really struggle. And there's only like 3 hours left in the window. No, 2 hours left now. And we've not made a signing. Everyone else around us is strengthening it. And it's getting a little bit scary that no one's in yet and we need it. I reckon we can get out of it, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. And it came out at the weekend, our players weren't paid on time again. And then they got paid again today. It just all screams of just mismanagement. And you don't want to see it at any club when this starts happening. But we've seen this coming for a while. But the problem is, it's either one way or the highway. At the end of the day, we don't own the club. We don't know what the financial restraints are. And if someone wants to own a football club, you have to understand you don't make money from it. As someone said on Twitter, and I can't remember who it was, but he gambled the first 2 seasons. And a gambler will always blame the house, the cards, or whatever. He won't blame himself. And that's the issue we've got at minute.
Maybe that's what it is. Just before we move on to Dor, there's a thing here from Adam Clark. He says to Dor, "Hey Dor, I'm doing a FIFA career mode with Forest, trying to get them in the Premier League as his rebuild challenge."
You only get 15 seasons on FIFA.
You don't get half. You get half a
Is
month.
it good luck with that one? Would you say, Dor? Got no hope of getting.
Good luck.
May as well start with Barrow.
I did speak to a Forest fan and he said, "Oh, it was brilliant. I got Forest promoted." And you know what he said to me after that? He goes, "After Forest got promoted, you know what he did? He switched his PlayStation off."
Right, so we'll move on. Let's find out about Forest. How have you gone on, and how's the transfer window?
Before we stop, I forgot we played a game at weekend. We beat Preston.
Oh, you did beat Preston. Yes, you did. Yes, and that was good because you lost to them, didn't you? You kind of let us down.
And the lad who scored, it was his first goal in 9 years.
Even sweeter. Sweeter. Okay, Ben's will be back in a minute. But
I knew I forgot something. I was like, I'm sure we played a game.
Congratulations on beating Preston.
I don't think Preston have won since Ben Whiteman.
Yes! Yes! It's gone! Tyler, you're getting Morris! Josh Morris is gone! Josh Morris is gone!
Wait.
Josh Morris is gone! Yes!
Just saying. When you get to me, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna have an absolute oh mate.
Are you going to do an hour walk that you meant to have?
Josh Morris has gone to Charlton.
No.
Looks that way. Looks that way.
Oh right.
Man's gone to Bolton.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Who's gone to Bolton?
When you get to me, I'm going to go off. So, yeah, just do your stuff and then let me have my rant afterwards.
We've just sold MJ Williams to Bolton as well. I can't understand Bolton. I don't know where.
Just let me know, make sure on that deal. I'll be back in a minute.
All right, okay. So, Dor, moving on to Nottingham Forest. Tell us all about how you've gone on and transfer window.
Saturday, we drawn 0-0 against Barnsley. We were shocking. Absolutely shocking. Not even in classic, a shot on target.
Wow.
I know Barnsley are burger side, like Doncaster are. But
yeah, you did say that before, didn't you? And
yeah, they are a burger side, but it was awful. I know there's no fans, but I mentioned again about Chris Hughton. He doesn't play that fantastic football, and the whole 90 minutes was just long ball after long ball after long ball, and it was It was awful.
Dora, have I seen on Twitter people from Forest calling for him to like get sacked, like Forest fans?
Some are
already.
Yeah, some are, but like today we're getting rid of Guerrero from Spain.
Yeah,
he came from Olympiacos, and he'll be gone. But Saturday game was awful. Transfer window, we brought in Glenn Murray, experienced striker, 37 years old. Is he good enough? I think we need him because he's a different type of player to Grabban and Lau Taylor. These next 5 or 6 games are vital because if we don't get any points from them, like Sheffield Wednesday, we're in deep trouble.
How many points off the relegation zone are you?
Well, if Rotherham got a game in hand, and if Rotherham get that game in hand, we're in relegation. And
jeez.
Rotherham are weird though, aren't they? Like they always seem to lose. So they don't. Rotherham don't seem to. I know they've probably drawn a few, but whenever I've seen them, they either lose like by the odd couple of goals, or then you get like it seems they always lose. Then they get a win. That, you know, brings them out for a couple of games. Then they'll get dragged in. Then when they need to win again, they'll win. So you know, they're one of those sides that are annoying, and
they are your typical yo-yo club, kind of.
Yeah. I'd like to see him stay up because I like Paul Warren and his values.
And like our next 6 games, we've got Coventry tomorrow, we've got Wickham on Saturday, and then we've got Bournemouth, then we've got Swansea, then we've got a rivals Derby. And
what do you think you'll get out of that then, Dor? Best case scenario, those fights they don't sound so easy, those, do they?
It's not.
Swansea
from them, surely.
No, the problem is, like I said, we're beating teams below. Just teams who can't be above teams. And
this is the thing we got. We got things where we're beating teams above us. We can't beat teams around us. It's really weird. So we'll probably have the thing on Tuesday night. We'll probably beat Bournemouth again. But then we'll go play Rotherham or yourselves or something, and then we'll get a candle. We can't do something right. It's weird.
And for that, Jake, I find you look at United. United, you know, against the top 6 this year, they've lost 2 to Spurs and Arsenal, and they've drawn like Liverpool 0-0, Chelsea 0-0, City 0-0. The only good Leicester did drew 2-2 as well. No, but I mean, the only good thing about that is they're not losing. So I always find it like sides below you don't give you 3 points.
Like midweek, we lost against Coventry.
Is this like we brought Glenn Murray in, and I've seen a comment. We brought James Garner from Watford, but James Garner, he didn't play no games for Watford. Like, he's meant to be this talented player, but if he's talented, why is he not playing for Watford? Like, before Keith Tyler, we've got like Brendan Johnson. He played against you, didn't he, Dapper, on Saturday for Lincoln.
Yeah, good player.
Good player. We bring James Garner in. Why are we not bringing Brendan Johnson back?
Is he on loan from Forest?
Yeah, he's on loan from Forest.
Tell you, why don't you just send all your players on loan to Lincoln? Because look at Taylor Walker last year. I don't know what it is, but Lincoln seemed to smash, you know, go into your under-23 and just, you know, but not to that Garner guy. You just use him going to Forest and talented players. Talented players do not go to Forest.
Exactly.
Well, we've got that Gabriel from Forest, and he's great.
The problem is, like I said, I think I said this on the last stream, like, players that we sign, they play rubbish, and then when they go away, they play fantastic. And like with Brendan Johnson's been fantastic for Lincoln, and all Forest fans want him back. And then we brought in James Garner from Man United, who couldn't get a game for Watford.
Well, Gabriel's a good player. You know, we've got him on loan from you, haven't we?
That's no problem. Gabriel,
I'd keep him. I'd love to keep him. In fact, I'm going to try and put him in a bag and not let him go back. I'm going to try and.
He's playing well. All our youngsters are going.
He's fast. He's a really good player. He's getting better. I mean, he's being coached by Critchley, and he's a good coach, and he is coming on. He's a good player. He's going to be one for the future for you. I tell you, if we can't.
Before we tell you that, we need this next game is massive. The next 2-3 games are massive for Forest.
Right. Somebody's just saying here that another departure from Blackpool is about to be announced, according to Matt Scrafton of the Blackpool Gazette. That's aimed at me from Blackpool CO4. Thank you. We've just let MJ
Blackpool
Williams
will
go.
Bring someone in. I am confident.
Well, they're talking about 2 or 3 coming in.
Can't
so
see
they're
3.
obviously,
I can see 2.
Well, they've made room.
How many you've got rid of today?
MJ Williams has gone, and now another one's going.
Who's going there? Which one? This one?
I don't know. Who it is. I hope it is. I really do hope it's him because he's absolutely garbage. He can go for me. He's just brought nothing to the terrible. Yeah, right. Sorry, I'm. Before I get on to me, we'll have a chat with Tyler, who is Charlton Athletic.
Josh Morris FC.
I think you're really happy about this, are you?
But it's the best news I've heard all day. He is the slowest winger I've ever seen in my life. Scores goals, that's it. And he's not scored this year.
He runs in cement in like treacle, does he, or something when he's running down? Is he that bad?
He's not bad, but he just get like something on the way. I'll never forgive him. We were 1-0 up, 94th minute, 95th minute, 6 minutes added, a minute to go. He gets the ball on the halfway line, right? He's running towards the corner. He cuts back, he passes it, tries to pass it all the way back to our goalkeeper. He's on the halfway line, gives it away. 2 seconds later, they score 1-1, last kick of the game.
Somebody's saying, what do you think of Sunderland signing Jordan Jones? I don't know.
Good signing, very good signing.
So before I do, is Lisa still in strap? Derby have just signed Lee Gregory from Stoke, and we've got Derby in 5 weeks' time.
Right, Tyler, we'll give you a chance to tell us all about Charlton. Tell us how it's going there, other than you signing Josh Morris from Fleetwood. Good win on the weekend?
Yeah, we played last Tuesday against MK Dons, got a 1-0 win. Yeah, it wasn't the most glamorous performance in the world, but we got the job done. Liam Miller with the goal, a well-deserved goal from him. He's been emphatic since coming into the side from Liverpool. As I say, wasn't the greatest performance in the world, but a win's a win. We were supposed to be playing Portsmouth on Saturday, but the game got called off due to waterlogged pitch, so that's been rescheduled to tomorrow now, which would be interesting. In terms of our January, it was going really well until today, in the words of Bootlegger, it's been an absolute fucking disaster. Put it lightly. It's been an absolute... Oh, mate. Well, the start of the window was positive. So we got Ronnie Schwartz in from Midtjylland in Denmark, Liam Miller from Liverpool, and then we got Jaden Stockley from Preston on loan. So we massively improved the attack. Our attack was fairly weak going into the January window. Paul Smith got sent back to QPR. That wasn't our decision, that was theirs, which was interesting. Omar Bogle was sold to Doncaster, which Charlton fans are absolutely ecstatic about. I do somewhat feel sorry for him because it just didn't work out for him, really. It just did not work out. It just wasn't good enough. I think the two goals he scored, I mean, one of them was a rebound and the other one he went round the goalkeeper and stacked it over the ball and went in.
Over it, didn't it?
Yeah. But I do feel sorry for him because it didn't really work out for us, but we needed to improve our attack. And with Stockley coming in, it was a case of like, your days are up, basically. You got to go, essentially. I wish him all the best at Doncaster, but yeah, it just didn't work out for us, I'm afraid. Other departures, Levitt got recalled from Man U. Again, another one that didn't work out for us. Lapsley we sold on a permanent to Mansfield. And then, as we just mentioned about a couple minutes ago, in fact, Marcus Maddison has joined Bolton on loan until the end of the season, which
sounds a bit mardy git.
I can understand it because, you know, in the summer we were under like all the pressure of like, because we had terrible ownership at the time, we were basically given 2.5 weeks to put a squad together. So with some of the players we signed, it was a case of get a player in or don't get a player at all. And we brought in Maddison. We took a gamble on Maddison. I mean, obviously he's got a very bad reputation on his that he carries, and it was said in the press today that Bowyer tried to change that character and seemingly he's failed. Hence why he only signed on a 1-year deal. So he's gone to Bolton. And then we are expecting Johnny Williams to head to Cardiff as well. The thing is with Johnny is that I know there's a player there. There is a player there. It's just the thing that he's had constant injuries throughout his career. And with Charlton, the one thing I've said that he's lacked is end products. He's lacked end products in the time he's been with us. He's only grabbed 2 goals in about 60 odd appearances, and that was this season. So he has struggled. So in that, judging by those stats, I'm not really too fussed with him going because his end products. The problem I have is letting Marcus and Johnny both go, 2 creative midfielders, and we seem panicking to bring in a replacement.
Got Morris coming in. He'll create for the other team.
There you go. Right. Literally, just got a notification on my phone right now. Johnny Williams has confirmed he's moved to Cardiff. Right now, they're both gone. Madison on loan, Johnny on a permanent.
Both your midfielders have gone. Both creative midfielders. They've got rid of
both
two
creative midfielders gone, and we seem to be panicking to replace them. We were linked with so many players. Joel Randall from Exeter. Exeter won $1 million for him. We were offering half that. Bowyer was saying it's a bit steep because, I mean, he hasn't played too many games for Exeter, but he's 21 and he's a young lad. And I'm sitting here thinking, take a gamble on it. Like, gamble on this player because he's probably going to be worth double his valuation in the next few months or even in a couple of months. So we missed out on him. And then today we were looking at Charlie Kirk from Crewe, another good player from a promotion rival, 23. Decent stats this season. We offered $500,000.
How do you offer those two good players to 30-year-old
That's what
Josh Morris? I don't dislike Morris because last year he scored goals, but
you were cheering. You went
his
mental.
Attitude, shrugged his shoulders. Doesn't want to track back. Gives the ball away. Good riddance.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get onto. So we were looking at Kirk, and the deal fell through because the agents messed it up. And then we couldn't get Kirk, and then we tried to get Viv Solomon Otterbourne from Wigan, and he's stayed with them. And now we're looking at Josh Morris. One thing I will say about the Josh Morris deal, we're only going to get him if Fleetwood can get a replacement. So if they can't get a replacement, then the deal's off. But
right,
I think it's okay. The thing with us is we've panicked. We've got deadwood players that we had to get rid of. Paul Smith, Bogle, Madison, because we took a gamble and it hasn't worked. That's why we've loaned him out. Williams, bad end product. We should really have done this earlier on in the window, and we should really have gambled on Randall and Kirk a lot sooner. What we've panicked essentially is what's happened. We've got rid of Deadwood, and we're thinking, yes, okay, we've got rid of the Deadwood, and now we're thinking, well, hold on a minute, we've got a couple hours to work with, and we can't get someone. So Josh Morris he could well come good for us. He could.
Who says that about a replacement? Because I only heard that he's a deal in principle. That's only all I've heard.
Yeah, but the thing with us is we've not taken a gamble. We've not been ruthless this transfer window. We've not been ruthless enough, and we've done our business far too late. And now we're just. I mean, no offense to Morris, he could well come good for us. He was good. He was quality League One player 4 years ago, but certainly not the player he was back then. Now, especially 30 years old. But
yeah.
We have an ambition of bringing in young players trying to get promoted. Morris doesn't fit that ambition. You know what I mean? And say what I don't know what you guys think. I think Morris is a downgrade on Marcus Madison and Johnny Williams. Like
Peter O'Rourke's tweeted saying it's in principle.
Yeah. You said you feel sick. Listen to this. Ben Davies, who today has joined Liverpool. We had him on loan 4 years ago. He is the best player. Bar Vardy, I've seen at Fleetwood Town, and Charlie Taylor is another example. We had a deal to sign him at the end of his loan for £30,000 on a 3-year deal in principle. Simon Grayson didn't want him. Alex Neil came in when Grayson went to Sunderland. Neil thought, I'll have a look at him. He's just joined Liverpool on a £2 million deal, and that would have been about £10 million a year ago. It's only because he's got 6 months left in his contract. So imagine how much money we would have got off him.
Oh, nightmare. Tyler, somebody's saying it's probably because Bowie's a twat in here. So would you kind of agree with that comment from Steve Huntley? Is it down to Bowie, do you think, this, or is there more? Because you've got this great new owner, haven't you? Why is he suddenly getting rid of everybody? You thought he's worth a bob or two, this guy, this rock and roll star that you've got.
Honestly, I wish I knew. There's such a divide with Lee Bowyer right now. Like half the fan base are just split down the middle. Like keep him, get him gone, and these two sides hate each other. Like we just constantly give each other abuse. Like if you Bowyer out, you're deluded. If you Bowyer in, you don't know what you're in about. It's just ridiculous. But
just like Forest fans,
honestly, I wish I knew. I'm seeing. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, Forest are in the same position, aren't they, Dor? With your fans are divided at the moment.
We
got rid of one manager already this season.
I think it's like with all football fans. If you think about it, like I say, if you don't you agree, Depot?
Everybody at Donny loves Darren Moore.
It's unanimous at Doncaster.
I don't think I've ever seen Doncaster Rovers fan turn on a manager. You've always been quite good with them and stuff.
They're such a friendly club, Doncaster.
For a long time.
Yeah, they are.
You'd always had like long-term managers as well.
There were times we Darren Ferguson when things weren't going right, and then Grant McCann. We liked him until he went to Hull. Now we can't stand him. Well, yeah,
Because he went to Hull. Now we want to go to Hull. Yeah.
Simple.
Somebody's just told us that the news of a Blackpool player leaving, well, not really, because McDonald was already on loan at Tranmere Rovers, so
but he has left.
He's left permanently now, yes, but he was on loan. He's gone. So, but it's not like a shock out that somebody's poached one, because I was a bit worried we might lose some good players, but he wasn't playing.
Good players, eh?
But we've got some great players at Blackpool at the moment. We really have, honestly.
We got.
I was doing me in a minute, Auto. It's about time I told you about Blackpool.
Yeah,
is that right? Should do my bit.
Go on, talk.
We didn't have a game on Saturday because it was off with COVID. We had Burton Albion and they were not playing, so the game was called off. So the only thing I can talk about is the amazing 5-0 win away at Wigan, which actually Dor came into the stream before and mentioned the 4-0. I didn't quite catch it at first, what you're going on about. I was thinking we'll never score 4. And he said, can it be a repeat of the Premier League season, 4-0, away at Wigan? And we actually topped it with a 5-0.
Told you.
And
Lee, how can you not remember that, Lee? How can you not remember that?
I do remember it, but I didn't think. I just thought you were talking about 4-0. I didn't realise you were talking about. You know what I mean? It didn't twig on me that you were talking about the Premier League 4-0 for some unknown reason.
Marlon Hayward. Remember, Marlon Hayward scored, didn't he, for you lot?
Yes, he did. It was amazing. We were top of the Premier League for 4. People got paid out on that. Do you know that people who bat that Blackpool would be top of the league of the Premier League they got the bets paid out on, because we were actually top of the league for about 3 hours, and then Chelsea went and won 5-0 and knocked us off on goal difference. But we were top of the league for 3 hours of the Premier League, which goes down in it's historic, and people took photographs of it and everything because it was on Sky Sports showing in the Blackpool were top of the league. I would say that's one of the best performances I've seen from Blackpool, and we were 5 players out with COVID as well. We've signed this young lad from Everton called Ellis Sims, who is going to be amazing. He's just going to be amazing. He only came on. Jane was looking at his record, and he's played 48 games from like up to under 23 level, and he scored 48 goals. So he's a goal a game, which is phenomenal at any level. Yeah. And he's come on for 10 minutes against Brighton. Didn't get a goal, obviously, but he come on for 10 minutes and he should have had a hat-trick. He scored 2, but his first chance, he was like playing through one-on-one keeper. An absolute, he hit it like a rocket, and this keeper somehow got down his near post to get it out. But that would have been a hat-trick in 10 minutes. But he's only 20, but he's big. He's got like great hair. He's got this big hair on top of it. It's like an afro, but it's like really cool beard, and he's a big lad as well, and he's fast. And I think Everton have got a great player there. I just wish we could keep him, but I don't think there's any chance. But I don't know where he's come from. And then we've got this Stewart has come in just from nowhere. This lad that was at Everton and then at Hull.
Good player.
Yeah, James Stewart. Is it James Stewart? Ex-Liverpool, yeah. Well, he's been without a club. He just got him on a free. He's a free agent. So I don't know much about him.
Sometimes those players are good to get in because they want to prove themselves and show teams why they didn't get yet. So sometimes they are actually worth getting because they got something to prove. And I think we got similar with Andre Green. He got let go by Villa. He got something to prove. So transfers like that make sense.
Yeah, we've got a pretty strong midfield now because we've got that Kenny Dougal, who was Barnsley, and he's a good midfielder, but he's been out with COVID, obviously, and we've got a very strong midfield, which is why we shipped out MJ Williams, because I think he was about 5th or 6th down, although he played very well against Wigan. He was part of the team that destroyed him 5-0, and I was saying, you don't change a winning team, but we've actually got rid of MJ Williams, who I thought actually had his best game in a Blackpool shirt. So, but it's all looking very good. We are going to get above Fleetwood in the next few weeks, I can assure you. I think we're level. Are we level 1 point behind you now with 3 games in hand on you? We're point behind you. How many?
Same points.
Oh, same points. Yeah, we're same points. Same points as Fleetwood, but with 3 games in hand. We will get past them. Definitely will. Little team down the road. We're going to get past them. But you never know.
Ben wants to buy. Ben wants to buy.
There's only one way to sort this: fight.
So what we'll have then? Once lockdown's done, charity boxing match.
I used to love that. I used to love that with Harry Hill. You know, there's only one way to sort this: fight. There's some giant prawn had come in or something, money and
so can I
fire.
ask a question to everyone? Who's done the best transfer? Say for them. I think Doncaster. Dappers, your team.
That sounds amazing.
Doncaster's brought so many good players in.
I think we've done well this January.
You brought good players in.
I think you're going for it. I think
rebuild wealth, which is really good.
I think Doncaster have seen them, have seen that they are, could go top of the league, got a really good chance to get, you are in a good position. And
I still don't want them to go up.
And you sold out, obviously your best player, and you've done something good with the money. So there was obviously a reason to get rid of him and bring in 3 players. And I think Doncaster are going for it. I think they're worth a sneaky fiver for promotion. Definitely, if you.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the 3 games in hand are Burton, Peterborough, and Fleetwood. So from a Rovers perspective, I'd expect 4 points at least from those 3 games.
Right.
So that puts top.
I don't want Doncaster.
Definitely put you top, and I think you're gearing up for it as well. You look like you've got ambition to go for it, and why not?
Yeah, tough month coming up. We've got some big games coming up: Hull, Sunderland, Oxford on Saturday. So this is kind of a pivotal month for our season. We'll get to see what we're made of.
Hull have gone a bit, haven't they? They've just gone a little bit off the boil, Hull. They're not quite the
team.
They've
won the last 2 games, apart from Accrington, they've been winning games.
Oh, have they come back, have they? I thought they'd just gone on a bit.
Yeah,
after they played Shrewsbury and Paul's and lost, they went off on a bit of a winning streak. They only lost to Accrington the other day.
Right, okay. Somebody's saying, let's just go to the comments quickly because we haven't. There was something, Posh Podcast is saying, hi, Posh Podcast. They're saying, hi, guys, we're not signing Nolan or Azoro. Quite sad because they're playing week in, week out. So I thought sign them for a bit of energy. Do we know, do you know, Ben, do you know these players? Nolan or Azoro?
That's Joe Azoro from Swansea, I think.
Yeah, good player. He was at Sunderland.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Decent player, young player there when he was there.
You've also got to think about this window's very, very strange because everyone...
the other one's only just closed about 2 months ago.
Yeah, but you've also got the other thing that there's no money at the minute. People haven't got... Clubs are trying to figure out how to do things. So some clubs are having to sell some of the best players to rebuild, like Donny's done.
Yeah.
Sold and rebuild. Like I had something from May last year, and it said we bring in 37% of our match day income, and that's what helps support the club. 37%.
Wow.
That's how much we're losing at the minute. And there's going to be so many people who are just not going to want to take the deals and want to do it because they don't want to spend. Like Wednesday are in a really stupid situation where we've got players that don't want to come to a club called where our position is. You've got the constant stories about being paid late. And then you've got the idea that there's no manager. And the chairman keeps wanting to give whoever wanting to get the job, he only wants to give until the end of the season. Players want to know who they're playing for, who they're going to be the guy. And I think on a Wednesday basis, this has been a poor transfer window for us. We needed players. Granted, there's not long to go. And we always leave it late, but I'm not feeling confident. I can see us going for someone like Connor Wickham on loan again, but he's only
just
here again. Pardon?
From Palace.
Yeah, he got 6 months left on his contract, so it could be coming. Yeah, but he keep coming back to us. But he got a dodgy knee. He got a dodgy knee. He can't keep fit, and this is the thing we got. We're only gonna get players like I've seen players today that we were looking at bringing in the summer who have now gone for like next to nothing. We were looking at a young Man City lad who's just gone to Birmingham for 150k. We got quoted in the summer $1 million for him. He's now gone for 150k. We had Ross Stewart, who's now just gone to Sunderland. We were looking at him, not got him. And all our targets during this window have gone. The only one we brought in is a free agent, which is Andre Green, and a free agent is Sam Hutchinson when we let him go and he's just come back from Cyprus. For us, it shows that we have a big, big money issue. And if we stay up this season, we'll be very, very lucky. Oh, and our accounts that were meant to be due in on the 31st of July are still not in. They are 6 months late. We are going to have a £3,000 fine for being late. And it screams, and I hate to say it if you're a Wednesday fan, it screams the administration with how it's being run. The moment you start not putting your accounts in to HMRC, you are up the shit creek.
You're in trouble. You are in trouble. I've just noticed quite a lot of people just came into into the show there, and I just wanted to say, obviously they didn't have the introduction. I'll just quickly go through everybody again. We've got myself, Lee Charles TV. We've got next to me, we've got Daniel, who's 18 Dapper. He's a Doncaster Rovers fan. Next to him, I've got Ben, who's Cod Vlogs. He's a Fleetwood Town vlogger. Underneath him, Jake Punkchef41, who is a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Next to him in the middle, we've got Mr. Door, who's Door on tour, Nottingham Forest, and next to him is underneath me is Tyler Rollinson, who is a Charlton vlogger. So if you've just joined in, you didn't know who they were, just so you know. Are any of you keeping tabs on any new transfer gossip? Is anybody on it?
I know Swansea,
I haven't stopped looking at my phone.
I know Swansea.
Is anybody watching Sky or anything?
Swansea Away Days is on here watching.
Yeah.
And they've got another American.
They got no man. They just got another American, I think.
Yeah,
have they?
Another American.
What's his name?
Reece, what's his name, Reece?
Areola in it or something like that.
Yeah, Areola. Decent player, to be fair.
Wow, I tell you what, Swansea. Well, they're going, aren't they? Where are they now, Swansea? They're pretty near the top, aren't they?
They're second, I think. But the Conor Hilliran.
Conor Hilliran, good player.
Great player.
I think
they're going up.
I think Swansea, for me, and Burnley, and I bracket them in the same two clubs, both have made the most of their opportunity of getting into the Premier League. And, they cemented themselves in there for quite a few years, Swansea. And I think they've been pretty shrewd with everything they've done since they've come back down. And I think, they could well get back in there. And if they get back in there, they could be strong again. If you go down and rebuild and come back stronger, they're experienced. They've been in the Premier League, and I think they've done very well. Pity, something that I wish Blackpool would have done, because obviously we knocked Swansea out of the playoff positions on the last day of the season and got promoted as the bottom club in the playoffs. We played Forest, who were top, as you know, but we knocked Swansea out, and then Swansea got up the season after, and they've done very well, I think, Swansea, to be honest. Every credit to them. Same as Burnley, another club that have managed.
We've got battered against Swansea 5-1 in the FA Cup, and we've got them again in 3 weeks' time. Fantastic.
Yeah, I remember you getting battered. I put it all on the green screen behind me. You're getting right.
Oh, I'm doing a joint live stream with Reece and for freak's sake. I don't need this in my life.
To be fair, you can't doing Swansea. You might be better if they left and you could be in the Championship, but the rate it going, it could be they go up and you go down with us. So we might be in that whole situation. People, for our fans, are already turning around and said, let's get ready for the League One Cup. Our fans are convinced we're going down, but I think 22 games left, and we need to win 10 to stay up. There's about 60 odd points.
I was going to ask you, Jake, actually, because obviously you got a 12-point deduction at the start of the season, and that's been reduced back to 6. But you don't seem to be behaving very well in the eyes. Obviously your accounts are not in on time, and
we're probably going to get another one.
Do you reckon they're going to reinstall the 12 points if you don't toe the line, or is there a threat of that? Is that a worry of your fans?
Threat at the moment, but it's a big worry because the EFL don't like us and we're being run poorly. Let's be honest, it's been a very poor way of running a club. You keep hearing things that don't sound good, and it's very hard when your chairman is contradicting what he's saying and then contradicting it again. It's like, if you need a translator, get a translator to help you with it all, because English isn't his first language.
No,
and he does struggle with it. And fair enough, he put 350 million into the club. That's fair enough. That's a lot of money for not getting your return. But that first 2 seasons, he went all out for it and it didn't work, and then he didn't have another plan. We've had FFP problems. We've had the stadium debacle. We've had the point situation. And to be fair, our club is an absolute mess at the minute. And I get people wanting to back him because when he came in, he had all the promises and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous with what we get told. And that 350 million he's saying, I've seen in the same question mark, is what he said he spent. We don't know if that's true or not, but that's what you can only believe what your chairman is saying. If your chairman said he spent that, then
would you see that? You know, if I said to you, can you see anywhere in Sheffield Wednesday club 350 million has been spent on what? What would you tell me?
Legal fees.
Just I was going to say, because has he done anything to the stadium, the training grounds, the squad?
He's done a bit to training ground. When he first came in, he gave us a new million pitch and a big green telly in the corner. Yeah. It's the training ground. It's really bad, the training ground, because you get people keep turning around and saying the training ground needs improvement, and that's the one thing where FFP doesn't get hit with. So he could improve it, and then that make players.
Help players come along as well.
Yeah.
Like our training ground's fantastic.
But this is the thing.
We get some good players.
We don't know where this money's gone.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of it's wages. I reckon we've been giving stupid high wages to people. But like I said, we can only go on what the chairman said. And when you've got like Jordan,
it's been a great telly. Again, he's saying something fantastic.
Our club at the minute is like watching EastEnders. I'm just waiting for the bums at the end to like go into something new. It's something completely different. And
I remember just talking on that money when Blackpool went to play at the Millennium Stadium at Cardiff. I think the Millennium Stadium cost 90 million to build, and it's like incredible. And then they talked about Wembley, and it went from 300 million to 600. I think it almost got to $1 billion, did it, to build Wembley?
Yeah.
But 350 million, Jake. If you think the Millennium Stadium was built for 90 million, then where is this 350 million?
The rumor is, and I kind
how much did he buy the club for?
40 million. He bought it for 40 million. He hasn't. Right. The bit that worries me is what I've read. He's got a net worth of 400 million. But a lot of the money, how can I say this with being tactical? What I know is that some of this money had come from Daddy Dearest, and Daddy turned the pipe off.
Right. And it sounds a bit pie in the sky to me, 350 million.
It does. I can't see where 350 million has been spent. And the only thing I can think is it's high wages, buying stupid players. Like, we've been in transfer embargo for ages. A couple of times. We've had like 2 or 3 of them recently. And it's just really bad when you're having to support a club. Give this man your money. We still have the highest ticket prices in the Championship. We have the highest football shirts in the entire DFL.
Yeah, you do have very expensive shirts. How much are they? 60 odd quid or something? Ridiculous price.
It's I paid 40.
Yeah, same here, 40.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you could back in when it was Milan, you could go and get 2 shirts. You could get an away shirt and a home shirt, 80 quid, done.
Yeah.
Now you're talking 130-ish just for 2 shirts. Like for kids shirts, I believe it's 35, 40 quid. Like the infant stuff was high as well. I don't know what's going on with the club. It just screams that someone doesn't know what he's doing, and he won't get the help from football people to help him. He's very, very, it's my way or the highway. I put all this money in. It's my money kind of thing. It's like, well, show us something for it then.
Yeah.
We want promotion. Like, when you first came in, 2 seasons, you nearly got us there. And it was great. And then you started bringing in these managers, like you brought in Josh Lukai from Germany, who no one knew us, kind of thing. And he then got sacked. Then you bring in Steve Bruce. Then apparently you fell out with Steve Bruce or whatever, and then Steve Bruce went because he goes to Newcastle because it's his boyhood club. Fair enough, I get that. If your boyhood club comes knocking on your door to manage them, you go.
Yeah.
The way it was done and the way it was handled, it was appalling from both sides, but that's what it is. Then you had the bit you're going into the start of the season, then that season with your caretaker manager, Lee Bullen, and then you bring in Gary Monk. Then Gary Monk, again, now got sacked recently. Then you bring in Tony Pulis for 45 days and don't see eye to eye with him and sack him. Who the hell is going to want to come and manage the club? Like I saw somebody said, who do you want as Sheffield Wednesday manager? Right now, I think he should just give it to our caretaker for the time being.
Neil Thompson.
What he wants to do. Yeah, he's doing a really good job. We're fifth in the form guide. He's got them humming again, got them playing. Like players have actually got a smile on the face of it. And that's
it's like Wigan, their manager at the moment. They all want to play for him. And Gurney's common. I paid £3 for a sandwich the other day. Hearing Ben pays £40 for his cod's top, he does the blow.
Well, in the entire time we've had Chansiri at Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, and I said it all the time, we bought in like Jordan Rove for 8 million, 10 million. He would never worth that. We shouldn't have done that deal. We should have walked away from it. But he said, I bought this because the fans wanted him. It's like, yeah, you don't look what fans want. You look what teams need. Fans could want whoever. You don't go with that as your
I just want them on side quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can do too much for the fans.
Yeah. And it's the other thing, like, we're going to have it that in the summer, we're possibly going to lose, well, we are going to lose Jordan Rose. I can't wait for him to go. Bring him to Forest. Well, he'll go to any other club and do really well. And that'll be the bit that will really annoy Wednesday fans. And what will happen is, you'll see it on Twitter, Jordan Rose has got a hat-trick. Jordan Rose has got it. And they'll just go...
Where's it now? He's still at Wednesday?
He's still at Wednesday, but he's got 6 months left on his contract.
Does he play?
No.
So why didn't you send him out on loan for the wages?
We tried to do that with Norwich and he wouldn't do it. Owner just refused. It's a principle thing. I think it's his way of going, you wanted him, so you can have him, kind of thing. And we're really badly with this kind of situation. So, like I said, Jordan Rhodes, high-paid transfer we paid.
Yep.
Adam Reach, second highest transfer we paid. Will both be free agents in the summer. We have a squad of about 10 or 11 all out of contract. A lot of good youngsters. We've got a young lad called Liam Shaw who looks like he's possibly going up to Celtic. And to be fair, he's a Wednesday lad, but if you got a chance to go play for Celtic, earn a lot of money. I said this the other day, footballers have short careers, and someone turned around and said, they have long careers. You're one injury away from your career being ended. If you can go up and make big money, I don't blame him. And with the way our club's run, would a youth team player want to stay at the moment and just see it all? It's that whole situation.
They'll be dragged down, aren't they? Then they're labelled as that one bad, like Grealish used to, that one good player in a bad side, and he'll never be able to step up. How much did you buy Reach for? Was it 4 million?
4 to 5 million, and Middlesbrough.
There's breaking news at Blackpool. I've just seen it here, tweeted by Matt Scrafton, who's the Evening Gazette correspondent. He's said he's going to risk it and take the dog out for a quick walk because knowing his record deals being announced when he's off, something is bound to happen now, surely. So there's the breaking news. Matt Scrafton has gone to take his dog out for a quick walk, and if he's left his post, Blackpool notoriously make a signing, so something could be coming in any minute now. For all,
I think Morris will be announced in 1 minute's time.
Right, okay.
9 o'clock.
Right, people,
I do believe Paul, you're going to get off, aren't you?
Yeah,
right.
I'm going to have to go in about 30 seconds.
Okay, you're going as well. Well, I've got Luke Turton Talks Football, and I'm going to give him the link.
What's Harrison like at Portsmouth? Because we're in advanced talks for him.
Harrison?
Yeah.
Ellis Harrison.
Oh, Ellis Harrison. He's okay. He's one of those
lads.
Mate.
He's one of those strikers that
I'll put the link in for Luke.
Behind. He's a bit lightweight, and he's quick, and he just needs a chance. And he's one of those that needs a hold up striker next to him to hold the ball. He's like a Jerry Yates at Blackpool. He's very elegant, likes getting behind, and needs a hold up player for him. I think he'll be a good signing.
We're in advanced talks with him, so
sign him on loan.
No, permanent.
All right. But thank you for having me on, lads. And,
No worries.
Thanks,
I'll
Ben.
see you.
Best of luck with Grayson. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. I think I said that before.
There's an impressionist called Jamsani. Just put Jamsani, Grayson impression. You'll love it. It's so funny. But
Nice.
yeah.
Right,
Thanks for
okay.
having me on. And
All right. Good luck
mate.
to you.
See you
You're
later.
on stream now.
Luke.
Yeah.
See
Are
you
you doing
later.
a stream?
Guys.
Ben,
Bye,
before you
Luke.
go, are you
Yeah,
doing
mate.
a stream?
A stream Saturday, yes.
Oh, Saturday. Oh, okay. All right.
See
Well,
you
best
later,
of
guys.
luck
Keep safe
with
and
Grayson.
well, and thanks for the support.
Okay. Okay. I do feel a little bit sorry for him, as you know. It's Grayson.
I apologise. This has turned into a bit of a Sheffield Wednesday support group for me, but we are awful at the minute.
It's fine, mate. It's
all
fine.
right.
I don't know what's going on with Wednesday at the minute.
I'm just going to introduce to people who don't know. We're just bringing in Luke Turton, who is Turton Talks Football. I was on his show this afternoon. He's also a Nottingham Forest. So one Forest out, one Forest in. We've had Dor on, Luke, who's been pretty miserable about Forest. How is it in the Turton Talks Football world of Nottingham Forest? Are you the same as Dor, or are you a bit more chipper than the Dor we had on earlier on?
I don't think, hi everyone, by the way, I don't think it's as bad as Dor makes out, or most of the fans make it out to be.
Right.
Yes, we're not playing the most entertaining of football.
Right.
And yes, okay, in the ideal world, we'd be attacking, scoring loads of goals. But we are where we are in the league for a reason.
Yeah.
We're not around the bottom because we're scoring loads of goals. We are here because we are poor defensively at the start of the season, but then also we did not score enough goals.
Right. What do you think of your manager then? Dor still thinking he's okay? Houghton, do you think he's all right? I know there's a bit of a division between the Forest fans at the moment on whether they think he's up for the job or not. So you've already sacked one manager. Are you wanting him out or give him more time, or what are you thinking there?
Fair to Dor doesn't want him out.
Dor doesn't. No. Dor doesn't want him out.
I know we've given Dor pelters in the past, but to be fair, Dor doesn't actually want him out.
He is standing by him. Are you the same, Luke? Are you the same as Dor?
Personally, I want him to stay because we can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. That's just pleading insanity. But knowing our owners, if we don't get 6 points out of the next 2 games, then I can see them changing it. Because we have very impatient owners. And when the owner at Olympiacos, who happens to be our owner as well, even though they win the league over in Greece, they still change their manager.
Right. Okay. Ben's just actually posted in the comments. He says, just as he's gone, Fleetwood is signing someone at 9:15 p.m. Maybe if you do sign on, you'll pop back in and let us know who that is, Ben.
Maybe that Josh Morris thing going to you. I want you to put that in the comments.
Guarantee Fleetwood will be signing a winger, and if they do, Morris will be joining us. And
how long do you reckon?
Yes, he will do.
How long do you reckon he's seriously got at Charlton, Bowyer, before the?
I don't know, because I don't think our owner will sack him, because our owner has constantly said he's the right man for the job and he's going to lead us forward. I don't think Sangard has it in him to sack Bowyer. And as I said earlier in the show, like, the Charlton fan base is such a divide about Bowyer at the moment. I've switched between the two, if I'm honest with you, switched between the two sides. But I'm just sort of like, this season, we weren't expected to go up anyway because of the disaster that we were in at the start of the season. So I'm just like, I'm not expecting us to go up this season. It's a rebuild. It's a rebuild, essentially. So I want to give Bowyer to the end of this season to see if he can fix it. With the way that this deadline day has gone, I think personally, I think this season is done for us now. I think it's done. I don't think we'll be going up this season. It'll be another rebuild job next season. But yeah,
do you trust him to spend money wisely though? Is it getting to the point where you sign players and it's like that's not good enough? Is it one where maybe someone like, I don't know, someone you can trust with money or can pick players out of nowhere, like lower league, and then we all know what I'm basically getting at is the Peterborough model, really.
Yeah. It's just like I said. It's just the thing with us. This window, this deadline date, we've panicked. That's what we've done. We've not shown the ambition that we wanted to have. Like I said, we've had Joel Randall, Charlie Kirk. These are good players that will be improvements on Johnny Williams and Marcus Maddison, who, let's face it, haven't really worked out. And we pulled out because we don't think they're worth the valuation that the clubs have set. When if we were to bring them in and they're highly rated, they'll be worth double their valuation in 12 months' time, or maybe even shorter periods. And then because we pulled out the Randall deal, and the Kirk deal nearly went through, but the agent messed it up or whatever, I don't know. And then we've gone in for like Jordan Graham from Gillingham, Viv Solomon Otterbourne from Wigan, who are okay. And then they've turned us down, and now we're looking at Josh Morris, and I don't think Morris is an improvement. So
it's not inspiring you, that, is it?
Just a bit of Lincoln has just signed Tom Ince from Stoke on a season-long loan.
I've just seen that. Good evening, Hayley. I've just seen Hayley just said, "How am I doing?" I'm going to ask you, Luke, because I know you've been keeping an eye on the transfer market. You may have some more news for us. But I was just reading this comment on Twitter from somebody. It was at Blackpool FC, and somebody said, a guy called Ryan on Twitter said, "We live in a FIFA generation now where everyone just wants transfers every day." Spoiled is one word to describe these folks. Is that a thing? It is the FIFA world where, you know, young kids are getting new players in every week and opening new packs and all this sort of stuff, and they're thinking that can actually transfer into the real world of football, where it's just not like that, is it? Too much.
I agree with that, but there's also the other side of it, which is also the Football Manager side, where everyone thinks they're a manager.
Yes,
so not just the FIFA side where it's straight away, but you've also got people who think they're a manager because they've played the game, which some people do actually get jobs from playing the game. I'll give them credit. There have been cases where they have actually gone in and got a job because of what they've done on Football Manager. But it's a different playing on a game than dealing with people. And I think the instant success that you get on things like FIFA and stuff like that, that's what they want. And it don't work like that.
What's his comment? I wouldn't say who's saying I wouldn't say I was young. I'm not young. I wish I was young. God, I tell you, I get some pelters here. Did I say I was young? I don't think I said I was young, but anyway, I'm certainly not young. I'm young.
The age cap on that one, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I won't be saying.
Just looked on Twitter right now. A reliable journalist has just said that Charlton put in a inquiry for Shane Ferguson, the winger from Millwall. And apparently the wage cap has gotten our way from signing him. So thank God for the wage cap. No way.
Apparently I said all the youngsters what I think straight away. Well, I wasn't classing myself in that bracket. I don't think I was talking about me with the youngsters. That's for sure.
They knew under there say me. No, I'm not young.
And I don't play FIFA and I don't play Football Manager, so I definitely don't qualify in any of those categories.
To be fair, Football Manager is more of the older kind of football fan game.
It is, but I just don't.
Long term.
I've never played either, so Gurney's being sarcastic.
There we go. You got some content.
All right, I can take it, Gurney. You're all right.
There you go, Lee. You got some content in the summer. Old man plays Football Manager, doesn't know what he's doing.
Hey, maybe, yeah, I could start a channel. Yeah. Old guys starts playing. Well, or even worse, playing FIFA. I tried to play it with Sebi. I was, oh my god! Honestly, he was shouting at me so much. We played together.
Yeah.
Just pass it this way. No, that's not
the right. My god! You're not pressing the right button. He's X for this, Y for this. I'm like, what the fuck? They didn't have computers. Yes, they did have computers in my youth, Gurney. Yes, they did.
You had to crank them with a shaft.
My first game machine was a Nintendo 60.
I was going to say Atari.
That was my first console, and I remember playing Super Mario World. And oh my god, my mum and dad were away on a holiday for 2 weeks, and I was playing it till like 3 a.m, when they're not here. And I tried to beat this level, and you had to like hop across on these little spikes. And when you stood on the top of the spike, you slid down, and you had to bounce on the top of them. I must have played it, I don't know, 4 hours. I kept sliding down. I couldn't get through this level. And I eventually got across all these spikes, and I went through this door, and there was this guy who shot me straight away as I opened the door. And I can just remember going, Nintendo, what do you want from me? And the window. And funnily enough, like later on, I'd sussed out, you get his magic cape, you just fly over all the spikes, get to the door, duck, because and it was dead
That's
easy.
the bit where your mum and dad got a knock on the door from the next door neighbour going, "Is you okay?"
Oh my God, I tell you that.
Weekend and this happened.
Shoot
Well,
against
you know about the famous story about somebody playing Football Manager and they lit the bin on fire to make it the atmosphere like it was in Istanbul, and then somebody had to call the fire brigade because there was like smoke coming out of the room. And the other one was that somebody called the police because it sounded like someone was getting murdered and he was in a cup final and he was screaming at his computer.
I'm blowing out. I mean, the games now. I mean, you look at the Super Nintendo, and it's come on, amazing. But they were great games back then. I remember playing in the arcades. And playing.
If anyone told people back then playing those games that you could make money playing it on the internet, and somebody would watch you play it for hours on end, you'd go, "No, you won't."
Yeah, I still don't understand why people watch people playing games.
I think a lot of it sometimes goes down to who the personality is. If it's somebody who's a good personality at work, and some people like to watch someone else either struggle at a game and go, "You can't do it either," or they watch it to work out how to complete that level.
Oh God! I played this game. I think it was called the Lost Vikings or something.
Oh, this is going a bit off a tangent.
the Lost Vikings. And I remember you used to get like a bubble, a chat, and it was like Thor, God of Thunder. He was like the main man. And I think he came up one time. He said something like, "You have failed at this level like 85 times." It came up in the bubble to tell me I failed this level so many times. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Just give it up.
Yeah, it just. But,
Is there any decent deals going through at the moment? Have anyone seen?
Right, somebody said Rowe's going to Scunthorpe on loan. Who's Rowe and where's he going from?
He's the one from Plymouth.
Rowe's going to Scunthorpe. Do we know him? And another out at Blackpool, by the way. Young Howe has gone out on loan, but again, he's not in the first team squad.
Well, it's not an out because you don't see him on the pitch.
Yeah, it's not an out really.
I have noticed every time you're saying like there's an out, you go, "No, it's not an out because he's not a first teamer." But I get what you mean.
Yeah, he's not.
Has joined Tranmere on a.
Howe is going to Scunthorpe. It's our Howe, not Rowe. It is Howe. Yes, I've already. So that's where he's going. Scunthorpe on loan, but hopefully Blackpool are making way for these three players coming in. But time is running out for those Blackpool fans that are wanting news on transfers.
Bournemouth have a verbal agreement for a deal with both Everton and Fulham for Joshua King.
Ooh.
That's why Nappers is gone. Chris John Clark had joined Fleetwood Town from Burnley. The 19-year-old been training with the Cod Army, is now a permanent move to Highbury.
There's a comment there from Brian Thompson. I'm trying to read that to see if that's actually some sort of because Oladapo. Is that a real player? Or is that just a spoof?
I think that's the young guy who came on against us in the FA Cup for his debut and scored the fourth goal scorer.
Pull that up. Oladapo Afolayan.
Have a look.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's a player.
Yeah, from West Ham. I don't get Bolton. They've been in £250 million of debt, had it written off, got back up to £250 million in debt with another chairman, had that written off, got to another £250 million debt, and then
basically what they're doing is it's like you're doing life where like every 6 years you can write your debt off. So they're writing
they just keep running up 250 million and then writing it all off. And
can we do that actually? Can we write our debt off?
I don't know how they get away with it, and I don't know.
I don't really want to do that.
How they got the finances to keep bringing all these players.
I am very, very scared of Sheffield Wednesday becoming the next Portsmouth or Burnley. Oh, not Burnley, Bury or Bolton at the minute.
Well, I was going to talk about this because I mentioned it in the chat, didn't I? That there's I think Rangers are in financial trouble again. They've posted losses of 17.8 million. Barcelona are 1.1 billion in debt, and according to what I was reading on the news, that Lionel Messi's extension in 2017 was $500 million.
$500 million for the B.
$500 million for those 3 years extension. $500 million for the whole.
Then again, Finance clubs are weird because they can still operate while still being like declared bankrupt. I think there's something.
How can Barcelona be 1.1 billion in debt? 1.1 billion and still be? I mean, how would you get out of that? I mean, how do you? It's mind-boggling.
All your big players.
They were saying all of the top 20. A list of all the top 20 clubs in the world, obviously Man United in there and everything, and every one of them last season was down at least 50 million on profits. So but they still keep buying players and signing players, and I don't know if United have signed anybody today or if they've been active in the transfer market. Luke, can you tell us? You've been watching it all today.
Who is this?
Well, just anybody. Has there been any of the big clubs? I'm talking the top six here. So Tottenham, City, United, Chelsea, Arsenal. Have any of those clubs made big signings today, or are they all?
Top six aren't doing much deals. It's more kind of getting players out. Because I know that Joe Willock's allegedly gone to Newcastle. It went through as on BBC Sport, but I've not seen anything on Sky Sports anywhere. But ones that have actually been done, I've been scrolling through Twitter while you were talking. Lewis Wing has joined Rotherham from Middlesbrough. Preston confirmed Seb van der Berg and Liam Lindsay. They're close to confirming Anthony Gordon from Everton.
This is Preston.
Yeah, this is Preston.
Have they not just sold somebody to Liverpool, Preston?
Yeah, they've sold Ben Davis to Liverpool.
How much did he go for?
They
do really well in the transfer market, Preston. I don't know how they do it.
And bit of news from the wonderful Derby.
Yeah.
They could have 4 new faces in by the end of today.
Wow.
They've already confirmed Tendon Mengi on loan from Man United.
Right.
They could be getting Lee Gregory from Stoke and George Edmondson from Rangers on loan. And they could also be getting Patrick Roberts from Man City, who has been on loan at Middlesbrough for most of the first half of this season.
You just want to say now, Fleetwood Town's new signing is Dan Batty from Hull City.
From where?
Hull City, Dan Batty, the midfielder.
Daniel.
Yeah,
Batty.
we were linked with him earlier on in the
Has he
window.
been playing much for Hull? Do we know much about him? Will Ben
not a bad little player.
jumping back on so excited, or will he be? Is he a good replacement for Josh Morris?
Well, the Batty's not a winger, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah,
Napa seems happy.
He does. He says a good signing. Somebody says a batty boy for the Cods. So there we go.
They kind of walked into that one, didn't they?
And on that note, I'm going to leave you all.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us on again, Lee. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Shall we take a couple of calls?
No worries, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers, Daniel. I don't know about you guys, whether you want to stay on a little bit later for any news, or should we take some calls? You want to take a few calls in, see if anyone wants to call in the show? I'll just put a link in there.
See what comes up, but it's a weird one on transfer deadline day because, especially this year, there's nothing. Normally, it's a bit active.
I know it's because, well, I was reading that the EFL have loaned, I think 8 clubs, 800,000 to keep going, and all them clubs have got a transfer embargo on. So that's 8 clubs straight away that can't do any business.
I don't know if we're one of them.
Well, then again, how are Fleetwood signing players if they're on a transfer embargo? Because Joey,
yeah, but they said they're on a self-transfer embargo, it's not from the EFL. So I think what Napa was saying earlier is that their owners put them on a kind of like transfer embargo. I believe that's what I thought he was saying. Yeah, it's Lisa around, get her on.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's there. She wants to come in and tell us about Derby because she's very happy about Derby. It seems like the Rooney revolution is
a thing. And,
no takeover, but it doesn't matter if you're winning.
You just had Guerrero leave, Luke.
I mean, it was in the pipeline. I hadn't seen anything from Forest's end. I saw a lot from Spain.
Guy Sports News has just done it.
Just on what? Sorry there, Jake.
Guerrero has just left Forest to go to Rayo Vallecano.
Right, in Spain, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah, I've just seen the Forest one there as well. I'm not too disappointed about that one, to be honest. He didn't really do a lot. Somebody on my stream tonight likened him to a worse version of Rafa Mir. And if nobody knows who Rafa Mir was, he was a very, very poor striker that came on loan from Wolves. Yeah, now he's banging the middle fun in Spain.
Gurney is just saying that Lisa was calling Rooney for ages before he took the manager's gig. She wasn't actually the biggest fan of Rooney, was she? She didn't have a lot of good things to say for him. If I do remember,
revolutionised them. They're getting the results. Like, they're turning it around.
Everything changes when things go well, don't they?
You've also got the other thing where peak contacts in the game is probably second to none when you try and get people in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What's everyone's opinion on the two young signings for Watford, the sons of Pochettino and Bergkamp?
Oh, really? I haven't seen that. When did that go?
They've signed Maurizio Pochettino, who was a kid in the Spurs Academy, and Mitch Bergkamp, I believe his name is, from abroad. They've both gone into the Watford setup.
Very interesting.
That does green Watford, though. They do like to get some foreign players in who know what they do. I'm just surprised that it's not come from like Sodin Udinese, where they get all their players from because he owns that club. If it works out, could be a cracking little signing for them. Where are Watford in the league? Because they've been hit and miss recently.
They're in the top 6, I think.
Hopefully better than Steve McMahon's son at Blackpool. Oh, hang on, we've got EFC Matty. Hello, EFC Matty. He's just saying that signed Anthony Gordon from Everton to Preston. A good signing on loan. Not good news for me. I don't want to hear of any good signings to Preston. That's not what we hear.
Jake,
Lisa's coming back at us here. Let's have a look. No, what she said was she wants an experienced manager, but she has said she's been eating humble pie now. I always loved him as a player. So there we are. So that's from those are sticking it into Lisa.
It does come across as like the cheap option, but he probably isn't that cheap to like, you know what I mean?
Oh, this is a good comment coming in. What do you think about this? Sam Allardyce is making him laugh because he wanted a league suspension, partial due to his age. Obviously, he was saying that he was worrying about catching COVID himself, which I get. I do understand that. And he's a big, he's a lot of weight on him and everything, and he's had an art thing, hasn't he? So I suppose he doesn't want to get COVID. But now, after he's had a few stuffings, he's now the busiest man in Europe. So he's gone.
He also part of the people who were complaining that Brexit was going to kill him due to getting signings, and he was one who was all for Brexit happening and said we could get players but he's now been complaining that he can't get the players he wants from Europe.
Yet he's also then going to sign 2 foreigners this window.
Has he? Who's he signed?
And by Diang, who came with a Senegal striker, and Yosulu, who's a Turkish player, came in today. And they're also looking at trying to get in Ainsley Maitland-Niles on loan from Arsenal. But in the words of Rob Dorset, it's a race against time to get his medical.
How long we got left?
We have, if the clock comes back in the corner, 1 hour, 36 minutes.
Oh, we're getting fucking nobody in.
I think we're going to get Josh Morris, and that's it. And I'm not going to be happy with
okay. Somebody, good evening. Low Tho, I think it is. Yep. Hello, Lee and everyone else. Just a question. What's your thoughts on Joe William coming on a loan move to Newcastle United? Interesting podcast. Let's love it. Thank you. Thank you.
That's Joe Willock to Arsenal.
Joe Willock from us.
Now, Joe Willock. Yeah.
Good player. Probably will do decent stuff at Newcastle. It got left to him to see if he was going to go, if I heard the reports earlier. Probably a good signing for him. Probably what they need. Good talent. It'll get him some game time. And possibly if he does well, it might put a couple of zeros on if they do want to sell him in, say, the summer or something. I know he's highly rated at Arsenal. And Arsenal have actually got a really good young lot of players coming through at the minute who look like they're getting chances, which is nice.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Just want to point out that Watford 1, QPR 1 is the latest score.
Watford 1, QPR 1. Right. Okay.
Charlie Austin's just equalised.
Looks like Lee Gregory is going to Derby, like Lisa said. It's a very weird window, like I said, because
very strange.
Everyone want to make signings. I've noticed nearly everyone needs a striker this year.
Yeah, it seems strikers are
more than normal. Like normally, there's always one or two people who want a striker in, but it seems like a lot want strikers in this year.
It's the thing with us. We were desperate for a striker, and that's why we acted quickly in the beginning of the window. But in doing that, we've neglected other areas, and now we're panicking. So,
well, someone just put Sheffield Wednesday sound South Korean international and fucking no one on a 3-year deal.
Going reliable journalist has now just said that the Josh Morris deal is now off.
Oh, what?
Oh, that'll
disappoint Nappers.
That'll disappoint Nappers, and you'll be cheering about that one. Yeah. I'm obviously watching this podcast to see Fleetwood's reaction and your reaction to it. And
but now I'm a bit worried because we've got an hour and 35 minutes to sign 2 players, and everybody we tried to sign today is nothing. So I'm just like, we've let 2 go, and we've not signed anyone.
Very true.
Journey says, "Who doesn't need goals, Jake?"
True.
Of course, everybody needs goals.
We need goals. We're looking at strikers and we can't get a single one at the minute. Hopefully, can come through, but we'll see.
They're a rare commodity, aren't they? At the moment, a decent striker.
If you got a decent striker, you want big money for it, but no one got big money to go get them at the minute.
There's absolutely nothing coming from Blackpool FC at all at the moment.
I'll tell you guys something. Like, I'm a bit frustrated with Forest because now they've thanked Guerrero for his efforts this season. Yet when Ben Watson left, we never even got told he'd left until he'd signed for Charlton. We had to find out Ben Watson left when Charlton put it out on their official channels. He never got a thank you. He was our captain last year.
Wow, it's very strange. Blackpool are tweeting at the moment. Obviously, there's loads of Blackpool fans on the Twitter looking at what's going on. And so far, they've tweeted that Callum MacDonald has turned his loan deal to Tranmere Rovers into a permanent one, and also that Eddie Howe has gone out and MJ Williams has gone out, and everybody's waiting for somebody to come in, and they're getting pelters in the Twitter feed. Just hopefully something comes through because fans are on the edge of the seats at Blackpool. They did announce earlier in the day that 2 or 3 were looking at coming in. Well, they've not come in yet, so... we have a notorious thing, Blackpool fans, with the Oysons, where the fax machine used to break.
It was permanently in the sea, your fax machine. It wasn't even in the club.
Yeah, so Carl Oyson used to conveniently go on holiday 2 days before.
We used to have it that our fax machine was like in the River Don. It had just drowned.
I mean, I don't need to buy fax anymore. Okay. Thank God, they can't blame a fax machine anymore. Things have gone on. But the
one I always find funny.
Time is running tight.
For us, if we don't sign someone, we'll assign 2 players in the transfer window. This window.
Brian Thompson's asked, do I think we need anyone just now? Well, I was on Ben's feed before. No, I was on with Luke actually, and I don't really think Blackpool need anybody. If I'm being honest, we're playing really well. We had 5 players out with COVID. We just smashed Wigan 5-0 with those players out with COVID. There's players to come back in. We've signed this lad from Everton who looks great. It's Ellis Sims. I'm excited about Stewart coming in as well. And I think it all looks good. I don't really think we need that much. It's got to be. You don't want to be signing somebody that's just going to sit on the bench. You want somebody who's going to improve what you've got.
You also don't want to sign for the sake of signing someone.
Yeah, you don't, and you want them to, you want them to be better. But I don't, I don't know where you'd strengthen, to be honest, because I think we look good in most positions at the moment. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, Dennis Hutch is saying we just need CJ back. Well, he's done his hamstring, so you don't know how long these things take. But even if we didn't make any signings today, as a Blackpool fan, I'm still pretty happy with how we're playing. I think we're playing.
It seems like you brought in a coach recently, didn't you? And that seemed to have helped.
Yeah, we brought Critchley brought in Colin Calderwood for a bit of experience, and I think since then was a bit of a masterstroke. You know, I think he's done something to the defence because I don't know if you remember back early in the day. You know, we were getting players sent off. We had 2 sent off in one game.
We were having a kind of who can have a red card a game kind of thing.
It was really
both
that bad, and yet now nobody looks like getting a red card. But look very disciplined. The defence looked really solid. George Green was saying Critchley said today, by tomorrow or the end of the week, the squad will be looking healthier. So we're looking at loans then, aren't we? When does the loan window close? Does that carry on a little bit long? Obviously, that
might do. I always thought that the loans finished at exactly the same time these days, just to level itself out and make it less complicated.
It is all convoluted, and I mean, but it makes for excitement, doesn't it? It's one of those things. Some people hate the transfer window, and I must admit, I'm not too sure about it sometimes, but it does create drama, and there's all these last minute dashes, isn't there? And players being driven in a car from
2 seasons where there's no transfer window, just to see what clubs have got to do. You've got to your youth intake. You can't have go get it. But I would also like to change it up a little bit. Instead of it being a transfer window for players, why don't we have managers going? You know what I mean? Something a little different. I know no one would ever do it, but I'd love to have 2 seasons where we have
to sack your manager.
But
if you don't sack him before midnight tonight, you've got him for the end of the stick or twist. That would.
I would love to see us have a situation where the transfer window
that's all year round.
Drop it dead for 2 seasons to see what happens. See what people have got in the youth academies. The only problem then you've got then is if they bring it back, a lot of teams are going to get depleted because they're going to see how good some people youth teams are, and they're going to start sniping players left, right, and centre. But I've always found the transfer market a nightmare. I like it because it's exciting and it's tough. But if you've got a player on form and somebody comes and offers you money,
well, they did that to Blackpool in the Premier League. We were flying. We were 8th in the league, coming up to the end of January, and I didn't think Blackpool had a chance of going down, to be honest. And then Liverpool came in and put a bid in for Charlie Adam on the last day, and he kind of I don't know if you remember, but they tried to get him over to Liverpool, and the whole thing fell through at the last minute because of timings and stuff, and it just unsettled. It unsettled everything, and although we kept Charlie Adam, the team just went on a really bad run after that. And of course, as we all know, we got relegated. And I just think that transfer window did us, and also the players we got in were not, we didn't strengthen well enough.
But at that point, the owners were already going, "We'll siphon all this money off."
They weren't interested, and we brought a couple of duck eggs in. Really, we brought James Beattie in, who was absolute garbage, and we brought
I always
complain in from some bloody foreign club. He never did anything either, and Andy, somebody will know in the comments. Andy, the guy that went to Forest and was brilliant for them. He was overweight and everything. He was garbage for us in the Premier League from then on. He was brilliant at Forest. And Andy Reid,
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And
he was bloody awful. Honestly, he was absolute trash at Blackpool. The worst signing. He was overweight. He was slow as useless, and yet he was a legend at Forest after he left us and went there.
Yeah. Is that the Irish one, attacking midfielder? Yeah, he used to play for us as well.
Yeah, they loved him. He was honestly, he was worse than garbage. He was absolute SH1TE. He was crap.
I think
your academy now, Luke. Isn't it a youth coach now at Forest?
Yes, he took over from Chris Cohen after he left to join Luton. Would also like to just point out that Morgan Whittaker, who was a youngster at Derby, has now joined Swansea.
Jilt's kneecap. Yeah, there was a thing with, unfortunately, Jilts, the Blackpool goalkeeper, broke his knee, and we had to have Kingston in. But there was a chance. Blackpool could have took Shay Given on loan from Everton, but they had to pay his wages, and I think the whole thing was going to cost £1 million for them to have him, and the Oceans wouldn't spend it. But they lost, another 30 odd million, didn't they, by not signing him? And he would have kept us up if we'd have got Shay Given in on loan, because we had this stupid.
That's interesting.
So there's a rumor going around here that Sheffield Wednesday are trying to get a deal over the line for left back Dimitri Mitchell from Blackpool.
Dimitri. Oh, I've only just. Who's that? Who's after him?
We are
Wednesday.
We are.
Yeah. What, on loan?
The offer is said to be around 600k, but it's likely to be around 800k.
May I say, when Charlton played Blackpool, Alfie Doughty had Mitchell on skates that game.
He did. He's a left back, but he's not really a left back. He's very, very fast. He's really fast, and he's small.
Yeah,
he's only tiny, but he's not a good fullback. He's not a defender. Not about 800,000. Bloody hell. We've only just signed, just got him as well. I think we got, I don't know what we spent for him.
Wasn't he a youngster from United?
Yeah.
He's not on loan. They'd have to buy him because he's our. You've got to buy him. I can't see us getting rid of him as well. We're not brought any. Although he doesn't feature much. He's only a bit part player again. He's not, he's not cemented himself in the team. I quite like him. I think he's exciting. I think he has a little bit of excitement about him, but he's terrifying as a defender. He's not a defender. No.
Could he be converted into a winger?
Oh yeah, Mark Boland's saying it wasn't an awful transfer window, but we did get Jason Puncheon, didn't we, from Southampton? But we borrowed him from the Championship. He was one of those where Blackpool, I think the only team ever to be in the Premier League that loan players from the Championship. I can't afford. I don't know. It's
half expecting right now for Sheffield Wednesday to go sign a load of League One players, and that'll be it for us.
Well, I have this thing, Jake. I have this thing. If you sign players from a league above, you're signing to go up, and if you start signing players from a league below, you're heading the other way. And
just a few bits of news I've been reading on Twitter. Lee Gregory to Derby apparently done, according to Sky Sports News. Takumi Minamino, who's at Liverpool, apparently Southampton have asked for a loan deal for him.
They should really give him that because they've taken so many sodding players off him over the years. I know they have. But go on, just let him have it. We had Luke Ryan. He was decent.
Also, David Nugent's joined Tranmere.
David Nugent, that's a blast from the past.
It could be bollock, but I'm only reading what it is.
Somebody said Blackpool SEO4 says that account has a total of 0 followers. So is that where you're getting this information about Mitchell from?
I'm just getting excited if we sign anyone because
I'm just looking for crumbs. I can't see that happening really because I say we've only just bought him. So I don't know if we bought him.
I'm using TweetDeck, so you can't actually see who's got what because it's all in columns.
Right. Okay.
I think Jake's just looking for any crumb of hope going today.
Pretty much all our targets we've gone for have gone. Even one in the summer.
All our targets are falling through.
Especially after I told him on my stream that Troy Parrott had joined Ipswich.
Yeah. We went for it just proves our club just going one way, sadly. If we stay up, it'll be by the skin of our teeth and we'll be so jammy. But the EFL will find a way of going, well, your accounts are not in, they can mind a point. We'll do a Wigan or something stupid like that. Which you want to happen.
Hopefully that ain't the case.
No, but it'll make Charlton fans happy because they didn't like them for a while. They probably still don't.
Oh yeah. God, I remember when that whole thing kicked off.
Yeah, we were kind of were going. You wanting to do legal action against us and all the kind of.
I don't get why we did that because the bloody ownership we had at the time. There was no way that we were going to win that. No chance with the absolute fools that we had at the top of our club. There was no way. But I don't know why we didn't. I don't know why we made so much of a fuss about it. We may as well just accepted. Yeah. We got what we deserved and moved on.
It was really funny because we were like, when the fans were like going, you got relegated, you weren't the best team, move on. And I got so much shit for that kind of thing.
Ooh, interesting.
Go on.
Gurney's confused by Dennis Hutch's comment about we don't talk about Nugent playing for England. Well, of course, he was a Preston North End player. That's why Blackpool fans don't talk about Nugent at all, do we? Playing for England, it was a bad day for Blackpool. when he played for England.
Though, even if we don't sign players, we are actually on a good form on the pitch. So if we can keep that up, we might be able to do something. But I just know we desperately need strikers.
News coming in here from that Celtic have signed
John Joe Kenny.
John Joe Kenny from Lothar. Is that confirmed? Is that
yes, I was going to mention that a couple of minutes ago, and after saying there's 3 other deals, it totally slipped my mind. But one deal that has gone through is Nathaniel Mendes-Lang has joined Middlesbrough. So they've now got Yannick Bolasie one side and Mendes-Lang the other side.
Oh, that sounds very exciting, doesn't it, for Middlesbrough fans?
All I can say is I'm glad
in the stream.
I
think we play Middlesbrough now. I hope we have.
Right, guys, I've got to shoot off now. So,
all right, Tyler. I think we're probably coming to the end of the stream anyway. We've done nearly 2 hours, and
there's not what to talk about.
We're just kind of hanging on, but I don't think we can. Stephen Roberts says Mbappe coming to Blackpool told it was a mystery tour when the Eiffel Towers moved just for him to make him feel yes. I don't think there's much chance of Mbappe coming to Blackpool. But,
breaking news on Sky.
Right, I'm gonna see you later. Yeah,
see you later, Tyler. Okay, breaking news before we go.
Last one.
Well, it was breaking news when the person was talking, and then it didn't give me any text, so I have no idea. That was helpful.
How long's left in the window, Luke? Just so I know.
There's an hour and 20 minutes, more or less.
Yes.
I'm going to go have whiskey and get drunk.
Okay, all right. Well, best of luck. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for watching. Hopefully your clubs make some great signings. Blackpool, if we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. I'm not. I'm the same as Stephen Roberts. I'm pretty chilled out on this transfer window. I'm not too bothered either way. I think we've got a decent enough squad, Blackpool, at the moment, but it would be great to obviously just have something exciting. But if not, we'll see you all next week. Thanks for coming in, Luke, and stepping in for our other Forest fan, Dora, had to go early, but it's nice to see you again. And I was on your channel earlier. Your channel is Turton Talks Football, isn't it? And I was on, you interviewed me about Blackpool. So if anybody wants to watch that and see my thoughts on that, you can. Thanks, Jake. We'll see you again. But for now, we're going to get off, folks. So look in the transfer window. Just get the closing. There we go. All right. Thanks, lads. Thank you. Thanks for everybody for watching. Thank you. See you next week. Same time, 8 o'clock, the FVP.
You're right.